I think it's more important to focus on mental health. Yes, you have excess skin. I can help you with some terrific resources. There's even finance companies out there, and you don't have to have perfect credit. People reach out all the time and they thank me like, I would have never thought that this company Jayhawk existed. Or you don't want to use something like Care Credit. With even the best of credit, you get approved for like 8 to 10 grand. This is something I think we need to go into real quick. This is something that I've never addressed. When I quit drugs and alcohol, nobody wanted to be around me because I didn't want to be around them. I changed. I didn't try to change anybody else around me. People are willing to spend hundreds of dollars on supplements, but they're not willing to spend a couple bucks on putting lemon in their water. How much loose skin will I have? Because right now I've got a lot. Is it going to get much worse? One of the most common questions that I get is, what does it look like when you've lost all the weight? What does it feel like when you've lost all the weight? I'm so depressed. I look in the mirror, I see all the loose skin. What does that look like moving forward? First of all, there's a lot of insurance companies that will pay for skin removal surgery. Of course, they have criteria. I know for United Healthcare, once you get to your, I guess, goal weight, you have to maintain that weight for 18 months. And then you have to lose over a certain percentage of weight. They send you to a doctor, and the doctor wants that excessive skin, especially the overhang, to hang a certain, degree, if you will. The hard thing that I had to deal with is I knew that fighting insurance was going to be difficult because it had been every step of the way. No matter what I tried to get approved for or tried to get some help with, it was a fight every step I took. And I was defeated before I even really asked. But I did reach out to United Healthcare. They assured me that they do cover it. I followed all the guidelines, and in the end, they ended up saying, sorry, you don't qualify. I was afraid that that was going to happen, but going a little further, I might have extra skin, but I'm healthy, right? I constantly talk to people about that. What happened with the extra skin? I, fortunately enough, was in a position to where I was able to pay out of pocket for my surgeries. Not everybody has that option. But yes, 52% of my body weight I lost. Of course, I had extra skin, for sure, without a doubt. It does get better if you walk or exercise or run. If you can't run, that's fine. Nobody's expecting you to, but just by getting out there every day and walking for 30 minutes, I started seeing changes in my body. And that's huge. That's huge. If I wouldn't have made those sacrifices or did the things that I know that I needed to do, it might have, been a lot worse. I also, like I talked about before, I also use lemon. I put lemon in all my water. Lemon is probably one of the best things that you could ever do for your body. It really is. It's probably the best tip I ever received was put lemon in all your water. I do believe that that had a significant, well, let me just back up. I believe that that probably was one of the most important things that I ever did on this journey. So when people say, Jen, what's the secret? You've lost 52% of your body weight, or how did you lose 100 pounds? My gosh, you look fantastic. I say lemon, and they, oh, okay, great. And they put it to the side. People are willing to spend hundreds of dollars on supplements, but they're not willing to spend a couple bucks on putting lemon in their water. It's probably the best thing I ever did. How much loose skin will I have? Because right now I've got a lot. Is it going to get much worse? Everybody is different. Our genetics are different, what we eat, how much exercise we put in, whether we walk or we don't walk, how much water we drink. There are many key factors that play into weight loss, period. Obviously, you know that you have to be in a calorie deficit. You have to be in a calorie deficit. People say, how do you figure that out? You can go to tdeecalculator.net, I think it is. You can go there and it'll even break it down for you in macros, and, all the questions you have can be answered right there with a free place to go online. But let's go back and talk about this for a second. Lemon is probably one of the best things I ever did for my body because it has properties in it that help with skin elasticity. I have a lot of weight to lose. I need that. I need something to help me along the way. If it just does a little bit, that's huge. So I always tell people, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Little bitty things, some of them very inexpensive, that you can do that will make a significant impact on the outcome. That's one of the things you don't want to cut corners with. You don't want to cut corners. Water and lemon. That's vital. There's no way to know what your body's going to look like after you lose a significant amount of weight. But your health comes first. I see people that are, 30 years old, and they're dropping 100, 150 pounds, and whether it's due to PCOS or bad diet changes, sometimes it can be emotional eating, it can be behavioral. One lady that I talked to here recently, she said, I ate when I was upset, I ate when I was happy, I ate when I was treating myself. That was her reward center, but that was also what she did to punish herself. That's what so this journey is about so much more. These medications are about so much more. You have a medication that is going to help you lose the weight, get healthier, live in a smaller body. It's going to boost your self-confidence for sure. But the main thing, and we don't talk about it enough, is whenever something bad happens or something good happens, the reward centers, the pleasure centers, all those things are triggers for a lot of people with food. So it's not so much just about taking the medication, changing your diet. For years and years and years, I use food as a reward. And we make those mistakes with our kids and we don't even realize it, right? We're like, well, if you eat all that, you can have dessert. That's a reward. It's not, if you finish everything, you get a sticker. Because I just went off what I knew. I went off the way I was taught, how I was raised. My mom would say, yeah, if you want to have dessert, you got to finish everything on your plate. And I think that goes for a lot of us, right? A lot of us lived in that era, if you will. Or you got to finish your plate. You can't get up until you finish your plate. Things are different now. Things are different. I didn't know any better. I didn't. But now I think it's the time to focus on the emotional journey. It's the mental health part of it that nobody really gets help for, because this medication will help you in a lot of ways, but it's not going to change your triggers. It's not going to change what pleasures you, your reward center. And I think that that is a vital part of that. You have to be able to fix that. Or at least you got to be, people need to at least acknowledge what it is that's triggering that. And then try to find things in their everyday life to replace that with. That's hard when you're an adult and you've been living like this for 48 years. You know what I mean? It's really difficult, but I've done it. I think it's more important to focus on mental health. Yes, you have excess skin. I can help you with some terrific resources. There's even finance companies out there, and you don't have to have perfect credit. But beyond that, and I've got some great references. People reach out all the time and they thank me like, I would have never thought that this company Jayhawk existed. Or, You don't want to use something like Care Credit. With even the best of credit, you get approved for like 8 to 10 grand, and then you don't pay it off in a year. You got to pay like 30%. No hate to Care Credit. I think it's great. I have Care Credit, but you understand. But I think the mental health aspect of this journey needs to be focused on a lot more. We're pre-programmed from the time we are born, most cases, to do things a certain way, and that's difficult to change. But if I have done it, I know that other people can do it easily. You just have to do it. And that's what's so hard. I talk to people every day and I'm like, you know what? It's not that you have to stop drinking coffee. You don't want to do that because coffee is great for your body. It's great for your liver, your kidneys. It's just wonderful. And it gives you a little bit of caffeine, which helps because these medications sometimes seem to dull you down, right? Especially Manjaro. I don't know firsthand on Ozempic, but I hear it's about the same. But it's the taking away of the pleasures. Okay, you don't have to have artificial sweetener and creamers in your coffee, but we like that because it tastes good. It makes us feel good. What would you do if I told you that that would be one of the main contributing reasons to why you've been in a stall? People would say, how do you know? It's not the same for everybody. Just because it worked for you, it works for a lot of people. People reach out and they say, hey, I'm stalled. And I say, yeah, okay, walk me through your day. Don't change anything, but cut out the creamer and the sweetener. Are you sure? I'm sure. Don't cut out bread. Right now, just stop the creamer and the sweetener, do black coffee for a week. And then, they belly, I don't want to. You can do it. You just don't want to. I get it. I like frou-frou coffee too. But just do it. I would say 8 out of 10 start losing again. Because we're so pre-programmed to do things that are extra and not necessary. And then you don't realize that when you take those things away, those also probably had a big hand in contributing to the weight problem as well. I know that the artificial sweeteners, they're synthetic sugar, they make you hungry, just like carbohydrates. Every single thing that you put in your body doesn't need to be sweet. And when you stop all those extras, guess what happens? Guess what happens? When you stop all those extras, this miraculous thing, you stop craving sweets. You're not hungry all the time. You're giving the medication a chance to work inside your body. The rewards no longer are desserts. The rewards aren't sweets. The rewards become, I tell you what, I'm really going to just push myself this week and I'm going to go get some resistance bands on Amazon, or I'm going to go get that shirt I saw at Old Navy, or I'm going to be able to pay my dad back, or those are all different reward systems. And they don't always involve money. It can be multiple different things to change things that are embedded in us and pre-programmed and set with us. We have to give ourselves another option, and your diet contributes to a lot of things. Your reactions, the way you feel when you can't sleep, and what you eat. But beyond that, your triggers. Your triggers to things will never change if you don't make the necessary changes to do that. I'm going to give you a perfect example. It's not that I want to isolate myself. Let me get that out there. People say, you're at home every night. Yeah, you're right. I'm at home every night because of you. Because that's my socialization and that's my going out and having some drinks. When I made the decision to quit drugs and alcohol, because I had a really bad drug problem, a lot of people already know about that. But when I made the conscious effort, and it was way before any of, medications, or even really before I, was at my heaviest weight, I had a really hard time figuring out ways to fill those voids. This is something I think we need to go into real quick. This is something that I've never addressed. When I quit drugs and alcohol, nobody wanted to be around me because I didn't want to be around them. The activities that they were doing and choosing were the same activities that we always did. The difference was I removed myself because I changed. I didn't try to change anybody else around me. Therefore, what you need to keep in mind is it is not a them problem, it's a you. And it's a good problem to have. Your social circles are going to get very small. They're going to get very small. And there's going to be times when you feel very lonely. All right? I don't go through that anymore because I'm actually okay with being by myself. Whenever I got off of drugs and alcohol, the toughest pill to swallow is boredom was a trigger for me. Being bored caused me to go shop and spend money, or it caused me to want to drink, want to do drugs, want to do something, go out, leave my house at midnight when I had no business to, doing that. These were all triggers, but the main one was boredom over anything, over getting upset, over, and there's sometimes whenever something disappoints me or I'm just really upset, the first thing in my mind is, God, I need a drink, which is so funny because I don't drink unless I go on trips and vacations. So it's like, why does that still pop in my head? It's been a decade. This is what I want you to understand. It's okay. Your social circles will change with weight loss as well. People were comfortable relating to you when you were bigger because either they were the better looking friend or they found comfort and confidence knowing that they were the one that people chose first, right? So another reason why people are, hesitant to get on these medications and give it their all is because the amount of change required to make a long-term change seems so overwhelming. If that's not it, it's because changing every single thing about yourself, what you eat, when you sleep, exercising when you never did, drinking water when you never did, all of drinking coffee that's black. We look at things as luxuries, as rewards. It never should have been that way. We never should have put those things like that. So changing those things, especially the ones that were embedded in you from a very young age, it's difficult. It is. On social media, you can have a support system. People say, don't you just get ridiculed? And I see some of the comments, people, that's fine. For whatever reason, it could be somebody making a fake account just because they're jealous, or it could be somebody that's just envious to the point where it's eating them alive because they want what you have so bad, and they know what they need to do, but they're not willing to make the sacrifice. And it takes sacrifice to stop putting sweeteners in your coffee and creamer in your coffee. Like, that takes sacrifice. But I promise it gets easier, and I tell people, hey, it's gonna get easier. It's gonna get better. And they're like, I'm like, just weather the storm, man. I promise you'll get there. But you have to change your reward center. You have to make all the necessary changes. So for me, my circle got really small. My mom said to me one day, she said, don't mistake, boredom for anything other than God giving you peace. How many years have did you pray for peace? Well, forever. God's given you peace. Don't let that be a trigger for anything else, is basically what that translated into me. So now when I have those moments, I'll sit in my bed, I'll watch TV, I'll go through and look at other people's TikToks and spend time with my dogs. It's no longer, oh gosh, I'm bored, I need to start drinking, or I'm bored, let me go up and, go over here, or let me call so-and-so. The impulsivity of that is gone because I changed the reward center. I changed effectively what I use to make myself feel better, and the reward and the pleasure that comes with making the necessary changes. It's huge. And I know this is going to be overwhelming for a lot of people. So where do you start? You stop putting the creamer and the sweetener in your coffee because it's a chain reaction. Then later today, when you go to Chick-fil-A and you get those grilled nuggets and you're so proud of yourself and you've been getting low-fat ranch or balsamic vinegar for your salad because you, listen to me, because you put that sweetener and that creamer in the coffee, when you get to Chick-fil-A, you're getting Polynesian sauce or Chick-fil-A sauce instead of low-fat ranch. Jennifer, that doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense to someone like me. Because whenever you make a good choice, after good choice, after good choice, there is no bad choice or wrong choice or moving backwards in choices. It's very easy to continue because that's essentially how you're helping your mental health and you're growing your confidence also. It is a reward through the process. It is by far one of the best things I've ever felt. I am so disciplined. Like, people literally are around me, people that I used to look up to, because they'd say, I'm not having bread today. I'm not. I was bloated yesterday, and I would be like, how the hell did they do that? I'm going to eat that free roll that comes on my plate. How did they do that? It's real easy, because food is no longer a reward or a punishment. Neither is alcohol. Neither are drugs. The reward for me comes from the discipline to say no, because it's not an option. It's not an option at all. I'm not better than the friends that used to invite me to party. I'm just a different version of myself that doesn't want to go out and party. That's the difference. We've talked a lot on this episode about mental health, and I think it's, again, very valid. There's a lot of people that don't realize that their pleasure centers and reward centers and things of this nature need to change. And they don't even, when they do finally realize it, they're like, how do I change that? That's always been that way. What do I replace it with? I've given you some pretty good examples, some pretty good options, but I want you to understand that when I say what you put in your body is a direct reflection of how you're going to feel, how you're going to act, how you're going to respond, whether you're going to get out of bed to go do that 30 minutes worth of walking, or whether you do your dishes before you go to bed. It's literally one of those things where people go, oh, I agree. I don't think you'll completely understand where I'm going unless I break it down. So that's what this is. This is me about to tell you that when you wake up in the morning and your feet hit the floor, after you use the restroom and you go to the coffee maker, by not putting sweetener, creamer, or skinny syrups or anything extra that has cost you money in your coffee, you're not going to be driving yourself crazy an hour and a half from now, feeling fatigued, tired, but looking for the next fix, if you will. You're not going to be looking for whatever it is that's going to be replacing how you felt 2 hours ago. You have energy because of the coffee. You're going to be able to proceed. If you decide to eat breakfast, you'll notice that you're going to gravitate toward whatever your body is craving at that time. Usually it's protein, right? If you're hungry to feel full, protein. I mean, that's just the direction that you need to go. All of those extras, the pancake and the I don't even think about that stuff anymore. And can I have it? Of course. That is not what my body craves, nor does it sound appetizing to me at all, because I know the direct response it's going to have on my body. People go, okay, great, yeah, right. You don't even get one pancake instead of 3. You don't, it's not that I can't. It's that my body is programmed different now. I don't enjoy it because I know what's going to happen. An hour and a half, I'm going to be exhausted, feel awful. bloated. That's what I don't want to go back into. That's the way I don't want to feel. And then an hour and a half to 2 hours later, I'm going to be ready to have something else that's sweet because that's what my body's been given to fuel itself on all day long. I hope that that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to break it down. I'm going to go a little further. When I wake up in the morning, I have 2 cups of black coffee. I drink water with lemon until I break my fast, which is normally around 11:30, 12 most days. How I break my fast is with a protein shake. It has a little bit of carbohydrates, a good amount of protein, and all the nutritional things that I think my body's going to need. Within an hour, hour and a half after that, that's when I have my first meal. Protein heavy, make sure to have a little bit of carbs, not a whole lot of dairy, but green veggies over any other color. Green veggies, they're high. They're very fibrous. They're high in fiber. They're lowest in carbohydrates. So I focus on those. That meets all of my needs, especially being on a GLP-1. After I have lunch, then usually within an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, about 3 hours later, I start getting that that empty feeling in my stomach somewhat, and I know that I need a little something to satisfy me. No longer is it anything with fake sweeteners, sugars, things of this caliber, if you will. It's definitely not going to be sweetened drinks and things like that. It's going to be beef jerky. Costco, Jack Link's, big bag, $20. Take 4 or 5 pieces out. I put it in those little snack size baggies. I'll throw one in my purse. That's a really good source. If I'm at home, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take some blueberries, either a half a cup or a cup of cottage cheese, and I'll have that. 26, 28 grams of protein. The blueberries, high in antioxidants, wonderful. Or strawberries. I always stick with the berries. The berry families are, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. That's can't go wrong there. Then I'll have dinner. Dinner is normally very, very light carbohydrate. 6, 8 ounces of chicken of some kind, whether it's fajita chicken, broiled chicken, whatever it is. Fish. Fish is great. Shellfish. It's really difficult for me. My daughter is, anaphylactic. Anaphylaxis is what severe shellfish allergy. So I have to, be real careful with that. I usually try to eat that when I'm out without her. But shellfish is good. I call that the free food because I don't even know that there's carbs in it at all. But it's very high in protein. You've got some really good options right there. And green veggies. Green veggies. If I'm eating by myself that night, I'll buy the steamables bags. And I'll put one in the microwave for just about 5 minutes. And then I'll season it however I want to season it. I'll separate out about 2 cups of it and put the rest in a container until tomorrow. People say that doesn't seem like enough calories. Believe it or not, I actually do manage to get my calories in. And sometimes I even have another, an extra protein shake. I at least have one every single day because of the supplements. BioCare is, probably one of the best things I've run across ever. It is. As far as the nutritional value, the balance of carbohydrates, the choices in sweetener, it's by far one of the best things that I've ever run across, especially for people on GLP-1 medications, because there's things that you buy excess, like digestive enzymes, and you get nauseated. This has gut guard. It's got prebiotics, probiotics. Prebiotics and probiotics are expensive. It doesn't matter where you buy them. They're pricey. All of this stuff is included. And to be able to work with them side by side, what a reward. It's amazing to me. I'm very fortunate. I feel very blessed. For sure. You can definitely get in your daily caloric intake with what I just outlined for you right there. And if not, you can add in another handful of almonds. If you need to boost your calories a little bit, then you might not want to do tuna for dinner. You might want to do some chicken with salad. And there's other ways that you can pick up your calories, but You've always got, throw an egg in there. You just boosted your protein by like 6 or 8 grams. I think the protein thing is people drive themselves crazy because they're like, I don't know how to get protein. Almost everything you eat has protein. Almost everything you eat has protein. So that big crazy, I don't know what I'm, I don't, people message me and they're like, I need help. I need help.